right now.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome. I know you can't see me, but if you know me and you've been around for us for the last couple years, you know this is normal. I am your host tonight for the Picked Off. I am Joseph Jenkins. So we're going to know two things are going to happen. One, my connection is going to fail at some point in time throughout this show. We all know it. We all know it. And two, me and my brother Dom are going to have a little back and forth like we always do. And my boy James is going to be like, well, y'all, all right, look, let's get back to it. Because, at the end of the day,
we
we're all
Gotta bring it
brothers.
back in, man.
We got to get to the next
We're all
matchup.
brothers. Isn't it crazy? We're all brothers. So, fellas, my brothers from another mother, the men that I love and value so much, look forward to Wednesdays. How we doing?
Feeling pretty
Good.
good.
Tiger's still alive.
Isn't that crazy? Yes. The Tigers are
Not over
still
till it's over.
alive. And
Finally scored some runs. Thank you, Yogi Berra.
well, you heard Dom. His Detroit Tigers are going to push it to Game 5, where they go back to Seattle and see if they can win in a very tough environment. Very tough.
Eric
James,
Skubal on the mound. I give us a good chance, but guess what? Skubal has not beat the Mariners this year yet in 3 tries, and he got lit up in one of them because I was
I'm
there.
about to say they seem to know how to tag him.
He pitched pretty good. Game 2, gave up a couple home runs, but we didn't score any runs. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. And when you get a quality start from your ace and you can't get him any run support, you don't deserve to win. It's not Skubal's fault.
That's a good point. If you want to know if anybody wants to back that up, I'm pretty sure Pirates fans are like, yes, Dom. I understand that completely. Because, Paul Skeens, he's kind of coming in the same situation. Paul
It's
Skeens is one
even
of the
worse
best
for
up-and-coming.
Skeens. I feel sorry for that dude.
He's one of the best up-and-coming pitchers. He's about to be a Cy Young winner repeatedly in the NL because that man is a baller. But enough baseball. So let's go ahead and begin. So with this being said, I want to give it to my brother from the Philadelphia area so he can game plan and preview this game and give us his prediction, and then we'll follow suit. While he's doing that, I'm going to do a little housekeeping with my little thing, and I'll be right back with that. So go ahead, take it away, James.
Well, Eagles taking on the Giants. I think the Eagles should win this game, but it's not just about winning at this point. The Eagles come out and they get like a 17-13 win or something like that. Then I think there's still going to be some concern. So we'll not only need a win, but also need a response from the Philadelphia Eagles after what we saw on Sunday with which is something I brought up in previous episodes, was the offense sputtering and being terrible in the first half against the Rams and being great in the second half and being great in the first half against Tampa and being terrible in the second half. Need to see a complete performance from this offense.
I heard in football they play 4 quarters.
Yeah,
is that true?
Eagles only play 2 or 3, but yeah. But you know
Baltimore
what?
plays
I know the drama. I know the drama and the focus is on AJ Brown, and it's deservedly so. Because if you guys saw the play from last week, AJ was wide open for a touchdown, and it looked like he started jogging at the end of that play. So it's one thing to be upset when you're not getting the ball and everything like that, but one thing you always got to maintain. And I say the same thing if you're in a job, if you're working somewhere that you don't like it there, you don't want to be there, you can't let it get in the way of business. You can't let it get in the way of always being professional, always giving a good effort. So I'm not saying AJ is not a guy that gives effort. He does, but in that moment, it was not a good look for him. So we need to see something better. And I think that they're going to resolve their issues. They had a meeting between Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown. So they discuss a lot of things. So sometimes you fight with your friends. I think you guys can agree with that. Like sometimes we fight each other too, but we always try to get along at the end of the day. So that is why I think it's going to figure it out. But as far as the game, Giants got a very good defensive line. Dexter Lawrence in the middle there. You got Thibodeaux. You got Brian Burns. Has been very accomplished in the league. So the Eagles' offense could have some problems here if the offensive line does not show up. So I think that's a big factor in this game. But if the Eagles do what they're supposed to do, I expect a bounce back win and something to get them on the right track.
Oh, you know what? And it's interesting that you had highlighted that because we do know what is surrounding with the Philadelphia fan base. And unfortunately, it's not unfamiliar territory for you guys at this particular time because it seems to be a recurring thing. Now, to your point, we'll see how the winning goes. Dom, this is a team that you are competing with for the possibility of the number one overall seed in the Eastern
Conference.
The
Eastern
NFC.
Conference.
The Eastern Conference. It's always been the Eastern Conference for me. NFC is always Eastern for me. But by the way, shout out, I'm Eastern Conference guy all the day on anything basketball, football, and baseball all day. But anyway, Dom, what do you think's going to happen? Who do you have winning?
Philly wins. I don't know that I like that spread. 7.5 on the road is a lot. I mean, I can't. I wish I could say it's two teams heading in two different directions. I mean, it would look like that when you look at the records, but yeah, I don't like that spread. I'm thinking Philly 27-20.
Okay, James, you want to give your score?
I think it's gonna be. I think the Eagles gonna cover that spread. I think they're gonna bounce. I think they're gonna bounce back. Eagles by 10. 31-21.
You know what's interesting is that I tend to agree with Dom. I don't think they're going to cover that spread. I think they're going to win by 6 or 7 points because I think what often gives good teams trouble is a quarterback that they can never seen before and one that actually can use his legs as well. And the reason why I say that is I'll take it back to Jalen Hurts' first ever time hitting the NFL field against my Ravens. And he ended up almost winning the game because he used his legs. He connected with Travis Fulgham. So it's going to be, I think that's going to present a challenge because I will agree with Dom on this as well. New York might actually have themselves a quarterback, somebody that they can feel confident to think that they can come down because he had a great game-winning drive to lead them against the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers, almost beat the Saints. This is I think this ability to use your legs on top of your arm and have a decent arm too, it's going to make it hard for that defense on Philadelphia because I do think Philly's going to win, but I think they're going to win like 24-17 or 25-19. I do think this is going to be a challenging game where they're going to look at the Giants and be like, okay, y'all bad, but we know y'all have something that's on the future. So I have Philadelphia winning this game 27-20. Next up, you know, it's been a while, guys, since I've been hosting because I sat there and went back to start chilling. I was like, oh, wait, I'm next. Okay, wait a minute. What game do we have next? We have the 3-2 Denver Broncos versus the 0-5 New York Jets. We have two teams that are unfortunately in two different spaces. The Denver Broncos came in with a lot of hype, had a little bit of a setback, but they started to seem to figure it out. They had a great win against the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you saw Bo Nix in that game, Bo Nix started to kind of figure things out, was making plays to his weapons, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. J.K. Dobbins is one of their best assets there. But I will tell you, Dom, are you going with the guy from Auburn or the guy from Ohio State to win this game?
There's nothing in my being that's going to have me pick the Jets anytime. And it's crazy to me because the spread on this versus the spread on the last game. So you're telling me, old men in Vegas, that the Eagles are 1 point better of a point spread between than Denver is with New York? This spread should be more than that. I'm taking the Broncos big and bad. The Jets might score some points in garbage time, but I'm thinking this is going to be bad, like 35 to 14. The Jets are bad, and people are like, "Oh, it's not Justin Fields' fault." At what point will anyone ever blame Justin Fields? And I'm not saying that it necessarily is his fault, but I think Aaron Glenn is a good coach, and they really need to get that man his first win. But it's not going to be this week.
It's his first year. Let's give him a chance.
I want him to be a good coach because I always root for, current and even former Lions players and, coaching personnel. But I wasn't tremendously upset or worried when Ben Johnson got hired by Chicago. And when the Jets hired Aaron Glenn, I'm like, okay.
But
I thought we would bring in a coordinator from the outside. So when we promoted from within, I was like, I don't know. But at this point, I like Kelvin Shepard probably more than I ever liked Aaron Glenn.
I just think Aaron Glenn came in a little bit too arrogant.
Yeah, I agree.
Like with that whole situation with Aaron Rodgers, where they made him fly across the country to tell him
he was like,
he's not going to be on the team, and we saw what Rodgers did against the Jets in Week 1. So I just don't think that, I think he could have had a better approach. Like, your new coach is coming into a team, you need to get yourself established. I think he was doing a little too much.
With Aaron's situation,
he didn't want the drama with Aaron Rodgers. Can anyone blame him for that?
With Aaron's situation,
nobody wants.
Hold on. I got you down because to your point, with Aaron's situation, a little tricky because Aaron did come in like he was the run and everything. So it might have been a lot of setting example, like, bro, you don't run this anymore. I run this now, and that's been a problem with Aaron.
There's only room for one Aaron in this town, and his last name is Glenn.
So I understand your point, and I do think the way he did it may not have been the best way, and it looks bad. But I do know there was a tough situation, and it was one of those things where Aaron was kind of having them by the balls, and he was like, "No, this is our team. If you're not going to be a part of this team, you're out of this team. Go with your place, and we'll focus over here."
Well, he didn't give him a chance. He didn't give him a chance to be a part of the team.
But
no
I think
new head coach, let alone a coach getting their first opportunity as a head coach. No one wants a holdover quarterback.
Oh, with that being said, I'm picking the
don't want Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I wouldn't want. If I got a head coaching job, my first crack as head coach, and Aaron Rodgers sitting there, I'd go to the GM and be like, "What's he going to take?"
Aaron's with the right coach who knows how to handle an arrogant ass quarterback because he dealt with Big Ben. Excuse my language for all this time. He knows exactly how to handle an arrogant quarterback. And so, to your point, James, you got Denver winning, but let's give me some more of your thoughts. What's your prediction, like your score?
I definitely think Denver is going to win by more than the spread.
Oh, hot to a little?
I think they're going to win comfortably. I'm going to say 34 to 16.
Okay, so we have some people that think that Denver's going to rock this spread. I tend to think so as well, but I want to touch on something I do say we just talked about Aaron Glenn. I've been reading up on, I like to look at people's approach to things, culture, character and stuff. And I've looked at Dan Campbell, I've looked at Ben Johnson, and I've looked at Aaron Glenn. And the reason why I think that he's going to be a little bit better is that they're nothing but positive-minded people. They are nothing but this. And I think while they're bad now, a player that's used to such horrible environment, such toxicity, such everything, when you get that change, eventually it's going to make you better. Because that's exactly what happened with Miami with Brian Flores. Even though it didn't pan out, those first couple of years when Mike McDaniel came with that positive attitude, it changed them instantly. And so when I saw, and then, so look at them now, but then that's with Tyreek Hill and everything that was going on and all this stuff and the Eagles and stuff, they didn't overperform, but that's down the line. What you do now can change that down the line depending on so many different situations. But the goal is
ahead for the Jets. Just the goal is
the goal is to change the culture. And the reason why I say that it's going to be is when I saw him hyping up that kick return in a bad loss or whatever, or consoling the player who made the egregious mistake, that shows the guy that lets me know it's like, look, we may be down, but this is a good thing that you're going to do. Let's take from that and build on that, because the next time we may be in a good situation and what you did now may actually come through for us and win the game. It's like positive reinforcement. Say all that to say, it wasn't right with the way he did that with Aaron Rodgers. But it's like, it kind of was like a Hugh Jackson, Baker Mayfield thing, but I understand that one more than I do the Baker Mayfield one with Hugh Jackson. But needless to say, I do think Denver's going to win this game. And I think this is going to be a game where their defense is going to be able to enforce its will. I have them win this game 27-10. Because I think that they're going to get some points, but I do like the Jets defense to kind of do some things too. Because Bo is good, but Bo is still figuring it out as well. So we have them coming up. So we're going to move over all on Denver, and we all think they're going to cover this spread. So you know what that means better?
Looks like a caricature of himself.
Who?
Bo Nix. Like when you see his face, it looks like a caricature, but it's him. It's just his face. He's got exaggerated features. He's got like big eyes and big teeth.
Yep. He definitely has a little bit larger. He definitely belongs on that game. Guess who? But either way. Now, we go on to our next game. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. We have an AFC North showdown with two teams with opposite records, essentially. The 1-4 Cleveland Browns versus the 3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland, we all know what's surrounding them right now, especially with Joe Flacco being traded to the Bengals, but that's neither here nor there. That may be something we could discuss on the gauntlet or down the line, because that situation does look a little bit murky a little bit. But we have a tough Cleveland defense against a decent Pittsburgh team that is starting to really get in a little bit of a groove with their quarterback, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, we were just talking about. So, James Tatum, if you had $100 to put on that bet of a spread, are you taking it? Are you not? For Pittsburgh to cover.
I mean, I can put $100 on either way, but if you're asking me what I would do, I would take the money and I would pick the Cleveland Browns to win outright, because I think that Cleveland always seems to play well in divisional games. No matter who's the opponent, it could be the Bengals, the Ravens, or the Steelers. They play well in the divisional games. They may not play the rest of the season that way, but for those games, they do show up. They do have a physical defense. And Dylan Gabriel's a rookie quarterback. And I think that there's a lot of noise with Shedeur Sanders being behind him now with Flacco out of the picture. And I think Gabriel's going to do something. I think he's going to tell everybody to pause with the Shedeur talk. And,
well, they don't even know Shedor's considered their QB2. That's the drama about this whole thing.
Then who will be the second quarterback?
I don't know, but
Kevin Stefanski has said that QB2.
My question about this whole thing with the Browns is, like, what are they going to do after Deshaun Watson comes back?
That's the other thing.
So
he's coming back in a couple weeks.
I would not want to be in the building of who makes that
quarterback room,
because it just seems like kind of a mess. Like, you go out and get Joe Flacco, and now you trade him, and you drafted Gabriel and Shedeur, and you still got Deshaun Watson with that big contract.
I think Kevin Stefanski is going to resign.
I do think the Browns will find a way to win this game.
There you go. You know what's funny, and I will say this, you're right, and I'll let you go ahead, Dom. Joe Flacco is at the Bengals, so Jamar Chase fantasy owners, keep him on ice for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, but pretty soon he about to get back and get them numbers, because if one thing Flacco does, Flacco will throw that ball deep. And what's one thing that man has been asking for? Them deep shots. Them deep shots. And I have no doubt, because I've seen him with Anquan Bolden. I've seen with Anquan Bolden, he'll connect with Jamar Chase, because they have the same type of catch radius. They definitely know how to get balls that are 50-50. We're going to see that. But that's neither here nor there. So we got James, who thinks that the Browns are going to go to their second victory and make this division a little bit more murkier. Dom, are you going with Mr. A-Rod, or are you going with Mr. Dylan Gabriel?
When I first saw the matchup, I was on the other side, but James just made a believer out of me. I'm taking Cleveland.
And you know the crazy thing that you said that because you never know with a rookie quarterback or a quarterback that you don't know.
He
And you
played
know he's
pretty
going
well in his debut.
Yep.
And
And
Quinshawn
all
Judkins, like, he's been pretty damn good for most of the season. And that
The only
defense
thing he has working against him is Mike Tomlin has a very strong record against rookie quarterbacks.
That's true.
True. He does. But I will say the good thing that's going to help for him, even though Lamar has lost these games against the Steelers, but the fact that you use your legs, it gives you a chance against those Steelers. And that's the one thing that Dylan's going to also use with his arm is that we're not in the stage where all these quarterbacks come in and don't know how to run. These quarterbacks.
He's got to. He's an Asian midget lesbian.
Okay, God.
Well, he's Hawaiian.
Yeah. But
Hawaiian midget lesbian.
I do think this
Sorry,
is I'm
Dylan
going to take
Gabriel.
right. Hawaiian and Samoan. I do think that the Browns will cover this game. I don't think they're going to win, but I will say this. I think this is going to come down to the very last drive where they're going to have Dylan Gabriel try to drive all the way down for either the win or the tie. And I think that's what's going to clutch it up. And I think Pittsburgh with TJ Watt is going to get that sack to end the game. And the game is going to be lost 20-17. Cleveland loses to Pittsburgh. It's going to be a very interesting game. And it's a game that I would prefer Cleveland does win. But, it's okay. But that's neither here nor
That's
there.
where I'm at, too, because I wanted to throw the division into fucking chaos.
And I will always choose to Pittsburgh to lose any game that if I can afford it. That's my real rival. But we got that team. AFC North Showdown has been taken to effect. We're going to go to the next game. We have, what's funny is that this game would actually, if the teams played to their strengths, would have been a top tier matchup. It would have been a very top tier matchup, but it's not the same. We have the Chargers who 2 weeks ago, everybody was like, oh, now KC's about to get dethroned. Oh, this is going to happen. And they've had some two really tough losses. The loss against the Giants is one thing. The loss against the Red Commanders was another thing. Because if you watch that game, they had so many chances to put that team away, and they just let it slip. So now they're facing a Miami Dolphins team who lost Tyreek Hill, but has found Darren Waller. Welcome to Darren Waller, who is becoming a nice target on top of A-Chain and Devin and Jalen Waddle for Tua Tagovailoa. Dom. This is funny for us because if anyone knows Dom, he has always said Chargers going Charger, and he's always joked on the Tua Tagovailoa train and the Dolphins. And now they collide
left-handed Dak.
Right.
So tell me, Dom. Penix. It's they're 1-1A as far as left-handed Dak.
And so, who are we going with, Mister? You have to pick one of these squads.
I'm taking Miami. Chargers are going to Charger for another week, and throw the AFC West. Pardon.
I think
chaos.
Somebody said that Michael Penix is dark-skinned Tua.
Are they both
with zero football IQ?
Yeah, they are.
Left-handed?
They mean.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I never paid attention. I need to pay attention.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami. Chargers going to Charger for another week. They got up to a hot start.
Listen, man.
A shootout, but I'm taking Miami.
What we saw last week, Miami Dolphins going to Miami Dolphin. That's what I'm saying. They were up in the fourth quarter with a big lead against the Carolina Panthers, and you cannot close out the game.
That was bad.
Let's be honest about something. Tua has been pretty terrible this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that the Dolphins are just a bad team. I know the Chargers been charging the last two games, but
they're more stable.
I don't think that
inside.
The Dolphins are going to give them too many opportunities, which will offset the charging that's happening. So the Chargers win this game.
Charging cannot be offset. It's
yes,
charging.
Have you
It's
seen
been
the
a run
Dolphins?
since Jesus.
So, but it's
Have you
interesting
seen
that
the Dolphins? What they did last week?
it's interesting that James brought it up because earlier this year, after a loss or so, and Tua had an interview or so, I can't remember the quote verbatim, but his response let me know the
You talking
thought
about
that
what he
people,
said about Cam Newton?
I think so, or something of that degree, where he basically let me know
He's
that,
like, oh, I'd like to see somebody come in off the street play quarterback better.
or something. It was one of those things where it just lets you know that things are getting to him because the Tua from I know the last
It's the
5 or 6 years.
CTE.
So the 5 or 6 years was a lot more positive, a little bit more warm, a little bit more open. But I think that everything is so messed up out that team because even their coach, who has been a positive guy that I mentioned earlier, you listen to his interviews, his pizzazz is
He
gone.
does. He has no fucking idea what to say.
He doesn't want to be there.
He has. His positivity is draining, and I know that I can understand that because I've been in that same situation, and I know
Dom's
how I
about to
felt.
relapse.
And so at the end of the day, with that said, I do understand that it cannot offset, but these Dolphins are in a rut. I do think the Chargers are going to win this game, mainly because they are the better team. They are the better team to me, and they have a team that when I look at their team, I see just lack of focus on some things. I don't see possible positional needs on certain things. They fixed the drop issue with Quentin Johnston for the most part, and he's become their big play threat. Keenan Allen looks great with them. Amari Hampton, who now is going to be a figured out because I think he's gone for the rest of the year or something. They have a running back and they have a scheme with Greg Roman that seems to accentuate and do very well. I think they're the better team compared to Miami. I don't think this is going to end well for Miami in the next. I feel bad. I feel like Mike's about to be gone in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And that to me
Somebody
is
will pick him up as an offensive coordinator.
somebody should, because I think scenery does matter. I think he's a legit coach, but I also think what's unspoken about a lot of these issues at coaching is the conversations being had between management and their expectations of their coaching sessions with these coaches. Like pressure's getting to them from all sides, and they're like, "Yo, what the hell?"
I mean, he did pretty good considering the circumstances. The previous regime brought Tua in, so Tua wasn't really his guy, but he still did pretty well.
And his positive mindset said, "We're gonna work with the hand I got," and he had it, but it's just gone. So when the essence of who you are as a person starts to fade at a place, you might want to be hoping you leave or get a chance to go somewhere else, because if you lose a part of you, you're going to become somebody else for the rest of your life, and that's not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what you want to do. So we have 2 Chargers, 1 Dolphin. So it's a chance my boy Dom could get up in the standings on this one because we are different. Now we go on to our next game. You know what's funny, and I love that we have this game because we have 2 quarterbacks that were overlooked on their draft classes who actually are not bad, who actually are playing pretty decent. Drake May, and I wish Kendall was on here because Kendall has been saying this since he's been on our show. He has been high on Drake May, and then I start to see it, and then others start to see it, and we all start to see it, and he's looking pretty good. Had a great win against a team with his comparable quarterback type.
I like Drake May from day one.
Yep.
I was even willing to overlook the fact that he came from a basketball school.
However, the Patriot fans need to pump their brakes a little bit, because some of the posts I've been seeing is they think that it's going to be like the Tom Brady era is back because of one win. Let's calm down with the hype.
Fans, they got to be something to have for let them talk. But I get what you're saying on that front. But now
I haven't seen him in a while, other than Kendall. But yeah.
But now he's facing a quarterback who has been ragged on by everybody, and not one person has apologized to him for thinking that he's going to be this horrible person. He's actually pretty decent. He's not the worst quarterback out there.
Just won the first games for a quarterback drafted by a Saint this century.
He said what?
That's the first game won by a Saints quarterback drafted by the Saints this century.
I think
You know, and
I think that was his first career win as well.
It was.
Yeah. And it's like, they're not a good, they have pieces they have to fill, but Mr. Spencer Rattler has been managing pretty well. Because despite this, he just got this win against the Giants, almost beat the team that's considered the best team in the league. Almost beat them, had to make them work hard to win. So now we got Spencer Rattler with his top target he loves, Mr. Shaheed, of Alvin Kamara, facing Drake May with a resurgent Stephon Diggs, who's become a great leader to the locker room for what they're saying. They have fumbleitis Ramondre, but they still have Henderson, and he's pretty good as a rookie. So I'm going to let Dom let me go to James on this one, then we'll go right back up there.
I'm going to be honest about something with this game. And the Patriots have a pretty decent, favorable upcoming stretch. Their next two games are against the Saints and the Cleveland Browns, I believe. So,
I know what you're saying.
I feel like the Patriots has a great opportunity in front of them.
Yep.
But this is where I feel this game can be a dangerous trap game. I don't think it's going to be. I think coming off that win against the Buffalo, the emotions are high. You're playing against a team that you feel you should beat. So I think the Patriots are going to come out a little bit sluggish. I think they're going to win, but it's going to be a struggle game. It's going to be a little bit. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go with 20-16 Patriots. Ultimately, find a way to get it done, but I don't think they're going to be running away with this one.
All right. It's funny you said that because this kind of gives the same outlook to what they faced against that Buffalo Bills team. And they're facing a team that had the same type of, everybody thought that they were going to get dominated, and they didn't. And now you have to face them. So, Dom, are you going with Drake or are you going with Spencer?
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots, but I'm echoing what James said. Coming off a big win, maybe kind of sort of looking past the Saints. I don't even like that spread. I'm thinking Patriots 20, Saints 17. It's a better matchup than the records entail. Plus, Saints coming off a big win, so they're fired up.
Yep. And you know what's interesting? And I will say, and I'm hoping to see this, pay attention to this over the next year and a half, 2 years, because what looks like they're doing now is what I've seen with the Derek Carr Raiders when they were horribly bad. They're a competitive team. And I think right now, when you are starting to show that you could be competitive, you then start to think like, okay, against a team like these Patriots, who we faced the Bills with the best quarterback in the league by everybody's standards, and we almost beat them. Yes, they're
Jared
better
Goff
than us.
For the Bills?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I just checked, and the Patriots' next 3 games are against the Saints, the Titans, and the Browns.
It's interesting you said that because if they play it right, they could go up 6-2 in this stretch. If they play it wrong, they could be 3-4 or 4-3.
They're going to lose one of those games.
But what's interesting, I would say, to end it with this, is I do think the Saints are going to cover. And I have the score of 24-21 because I do think that these Saints are actually seeing that, you know what, we're learning how to compete. Everybody counted us out. We weren't sure about our quarterback, but we believe in him. They're not this. He's showing us each week, you know what?
Right, and I'll tell you one thing. I don't think they're tanking for Arch Manning anymore.
Not at all. I don't think so. And at the end of the day, who's better? Who are you putting your chips in? Because I don't know, follow college football, but last I heard that Archie Manning is not looking good. But that's that. We all have the same thought process on this game. We think that's going to be a tight game. We may have different reasons why it's going to be a tight game, but we all have a tight game. But I don't have the Patriots covering. I have the Saints covering, but I have James. You have the Patriots covering just by 1. That 0.5. Yep. That hook worked that hook works in your favor this time. Now we go on to our next game, and as we turn the south, we go to my game, and it's very interesting that I'm actually leading this charge right here because, as we know, my team is in a position that I would be surprised. I would say a lot of people never expect it at this point in time. I know that even if they thought they were going to have some losses, I don't think anybody expected 4 losses. But I will say this about my team. I am a man of faith. I am perfectly fine
Oh
with
God, you're going to. Oh man, it's
Hold
that
on,
bad,
let him
JJ.
talk. Let him talk.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I take my faith very seriously, James and Dom. So that little 5 seconds almost had me just spaz out. I ain't even gonna lie. Because at the end of the day, when you understand how important faith and what it means to me and the way I think about things, I definitely was thinking about like, oh, okay, is that how we feel? Cool. But I realized it's not that serious. It's not the case. But I think
I didn't
I
mean
can
it that way.
understand.
It was just the
I
I'm
way
can
you
not.
said
understand.
it.
I'm not discounting your faith whatsoever, but you are not allowed to pray to God or Jesus for Ravens
The way
victories.
you articulate yourself as a man is just like you know what you're about. So sometimes it just makes me
You are
laugh.
not allowed to pray to
So Dom,
Jesus
this is
for
where I would
Ravens
say I
victories.
would
That is
Dom.
not
This is
allowed.
so Dom. This is where I would say next time just listen, don't talk, because you might be surprised at what somebody's going to say. Because again, what I was going to say is I'm glad they are where they are, and I don't think it's going to get better. And I'm glad that it's not going to get better. If you had let me get it out, because the thing is, as in faith. And Lamar Jackson's a man of faith, and I'm speaking directly to this man with this part of this thing. You know, just because you pray to God so that you want a victory does not mean you're going to get it right then and there. So it does not mean you're going to go through some struggles. You're going to be considered the worst or this. You're going to feel like you have to give up. You're going to feel like it's not working in your favor. That's what faith teaches you in life when you learn about the faith that you live with connection with God. So this storm, I need this to happen because it was supposed to happen. You don't maintain for so long. You're going to go through storms. I want to see the resolve and the faith that these players have because what I've seen from them, I'm seeing a guys that expected that they were supposed to have it and they don't have it. And because they don't have it, they don't know what to do because they had this they don't know how to handle it. They give up. The effort I seen this last game was the type of effort that every coach that happened in that same situation would have lost their job the next day. And so I'm looking to that man who is our quarterback, our leader. I'm looking to him to sit here and say, reach into that book, give those scriptures that you know are going to benefit this team right now so they can deal with all this losing. Because I don't think most of these guys can handle the type of losing that we've had. We've lost games and we've lost close games. We've not been blown out like this. And I don't think these guys know how to handle that. And I'm curious to see how they're going to handle it. And I'm curious to see what leadership's going to come out of my guys like Lamar, a Marlon, a Derrick Henry, a Roquan. Because at the end of the day, if you're not going to be on this field, you need to make sure these guys get better. And this team that's coming in could give you another big time beatdown too. And I be honest with you, I believe in my team, but I do think they're going to get hammered on this one because I have been high on this Rams team. And this Rams team is showing me they are a serious contender to fight with the NFC East. I will take that spread because I have them winning this game 35-17. So I'm going to turn it over to Dom, and because I want this team to realize every moment you spent being this top team and regarded is a blessing. And 3 weeks, it can look like the opposite thing in the world. So when you get there, take a look at that quarterback that's a Super Bowl champion. He cherishes winning above anything with his teammates. He won the Super Bowl, and he's still pissed about where they are right now because it's not just about the winning. Winning does not get to put a pedal so it take a break. You have to keep your eye on the prize and keep pressing that button. So I want to see what this team is about because right now they quit. They quit. They absolutely have quit the last couple games. And it's adversity builds character. So let's see what you about. Go ahead, Dom.
It's crazy because as bad as the defense has been, and it's been bad, I still don't think the Ravens are as bad. I mean, you are what your record says you are, but I fail to believe that the Ravens are really this bad. Like 7.5 point dogs at home. Granted, that's a good Rams team, but 7.5 at home, that is a lot. And
It's because Cooper Rush
unfortunately,
is starting.
Go ahead.
It's because Cooper Rush is starting. That's just a little fact to put that in there, I think.
I totally forgot. Forgot. Yeah, okay, that's why. All right, now it makes a little more sense. Yeah, Rams big, 35-10. And it's
Fantasy
funny because I can
owners,
remember no more than a year or two ago, Cooper Rush was regarded as one of the best backups in the NFL, but he did not look like it last week. Question before we go to
and
James.
that's the thing.
JJ, if the Ravens finish 6-11, do you fire Harbaugh?
I knew this question was coming. So the interesting thing is, I believe he signed an extension until 2027. I think he did. I'll say this.
Okay, well,
I love that guy.
Regardless of the extension, would you want him fired?
He won me over after he changed his entire outlook and mindset to fit this new team we have with Lamar and mold him as a quarterback. That showed me he sees that he can change or grow. It feels like his message might be wearing thin, and we might be approaching things in a different way than we should.
For a long fucking time.
Number one, if you ask the fan base, oh yeah, he's number one part. Everybody's been waiting on him to be gone since before Lamar got there. But James, I'm gonna finish up so I can let you go because I know I've been going on this a little bit, and I'm very, very, very curious to hear your thoughts. We focus on just giving nothing but positive reinforcement, positive imperfections, but sometimes you do need to highlight the negative in a constructive manner. And I don't know if that's what's taking place out here, because if you quit, then nobody's on your behind and you don't care. If you don't care and you quit, that means you don't think that you've seen discipline or you've seen things and you just know it's not going to change or anything like that. I think when that happens, that's the first people they go to is management. Why is your team acting like this? Why is your team quitting? And at the end of the day, we have seen where players and teams will do certain situations because they're trying to do things. I'm not saying that's for here, but I wouldn't mind a change. I wouldn't. I don't want to hire inside if we make that change.
Right.
I want a different approach. I would want
fresh set of eyes.
A Dan Campbell or a Nick Sirianni or a Sean McVay. I want someone with a little bit of a different approach. I want the person that will eat grass, be different, because I think to be a player's coach, nowadays it does help if you've been around in the trenches with them and understand certain things about them that may not. And I just think that I'm with that. So I wouldn't mind that. But James, who you got winning?
Oh no.
I'm obviously going to pick the Los Angeles Rams to win this game based on what I've seen.
Rams?
I know that Lamar is out, so that's definitely a big factor into it. I think it would be a lot more interesting if Lamar was able to be on the field for this game, but Derrick Henry just hasn't been able to get it going the last few games. And I think, with Cooper Rush in there, I just don't think defensively the Rams are going to have enough respect for his arm. And that's going to make it tough offensively. But the other side, I don't know how you guys view the Ravens, but when I think about the Ravens franchise, I always think about their defense. I always think about Ed Reed.
Their calling card.
I always think about Ray Lewis. I always think about T. Suggs and all these great players that they've had. And to see what the Ravens have done defensively, really concerns me because they got a lot of great players. They got Kyle Hamilton. They got Jari Alexander that's been a Pro Bowl corner. They got Marlon Humphrey. They got Roquan Smith. They got a lot of great studs on their defense, but they're just not playing well. Remember in the Detroit game, 2 90-plus yard drives down the field. That just can't happen. So I feel like the defense is really the biggest problem of this team right now. And they need to go back to playing Ravens football, hitting people in the mouth and being physical on defense.
So, you know what's funny? And I will say this. They have the defensive line has been decimated. Our best lineman is definitely out for the year and may never play down again. And because it's rumored he has the same neck injury that Zach Orr did. The defense definitely needs to get better. I'm going to say this, and I cannot say this enough, and I actually am another blessing. I'm glad to see that happens here. Of all the injuries this team has had, the biggest one comes from the fact that we do not have Pat Ricard. If you want to know why that offensive line ain't doing great, if you want to know why Derrick Henry ain't got no holes and he can't run enough to save his life, it's because that fullback / offensive lineman / defensive lineman, Patrick Ricard, means so much to this offense and how it goes, and he has not been around this whole entire year. Derrick Henry was, for the last year, saw a 300-pound person in front of him blocking for him. Now he's not there yet. And this guy that blocks for him can also be on the defensive line as an offensive line as a 6th offensive lineman. And he can actually catch the football and make plays. If you look at the Ravens a lot of times, watch that man Patrick Ricard when he's in those plays. He has saved this team and helped Lamar and helped everybody in so many different ways. When he gets back, the offense should look a lot better.
People don't realize how good the fullback is until he's not there.
Big time.
Because they don't highlight him a lot, throughout games. Even when he's having a great game, springing key blocks, picking up the blitz. You never hear that guy's name. But I heard somebody say it a couple weeks ago when I was watching a Ravens game. They said they were really missing that guy.
Absolutely. And everybody was talking about the no Nnamdi, no player this. I'm like, we cannot do anything on that line without Patrick Ricard's not there. I was like, Patrick Ricard has the reason why Derek can't do anything. The reason why Derek looks like he's bad is because Patrick Ricard is not there catching those blocks. Patrick Ricard would have defensive linebackers almost start to backtrack a little bit because he's coming full steam. You need him. But I will say, to the point about the fullback position, I started to notice this week with the tight ends, and then I'm looking at the numbers and stuff and the running backs and stuff. We're starting to go back to the traditional football that we started to grow up on, where you don't just air it out with the passing attack. You do need to run the football. You do need to have a fullback, or if you want to have one, or offensive line, you do need to use your tight ends. Because these quarterbacks coming in are using all of them. They're not just air raiding it at. And I was like, this is beautiful because I watched the Giants, the Eagles. I'm watching the Rams. They do it. But fantasy owners, I know Puka Nacua is the top target you're probably looking for on props and betting, but you also need to look at Davante Adams. Davante Adams, I think his fantasy score, his receiving yards, and a touchdown is all in the books for him. So that's just a little nugget about that, because I definitely am going to be taking him when this weekend comes about. Definitely. FanDuel for 50 yards. And shout out to my FanDuel real quick, because I definitely just thank you, Jackson Chorio. You got me a parlay win just now because you hit that double and got my 4-man going. So much appreciated to you, brother. Now, we spent too long on this because that's how I do. I talk too much. Let's go to the next game.
Does it feel good to tell the truth?
Yes, it feels great to tell the truth.
We
spent too much time on this.
I think
all that, and I still never got to ask what you think about CJ going to the Ravens.
Oh, he's on practice squad. He's not going to play this week, is he?
No, he's on practice squad. It's just to fill a hole. I mean, Kyle Hamilton is hurt too, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm with it, I'm for it. I don't know I don't really like his personality coming to where we are in this function right now, but
that's what I'm saying. He does not seem like a Ravens guy.
Fun fact: CJ has now played for all 4 of our favorite teams.
There you go. And
he's a gauntlet all-star.
Right? He nominated him for the Gauntleys, the one that's been on everybody's team. How about that? But so I like this matchup because it's 2 teams that actually can look at their teams and be like, you know what? I believe in us. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Stitchen. That's the coach, right? No, is it Gannon or Shane
No,
Stitchen?
Jonathan Gannon. Shane
Jonathan
Steichen
Gannon.
is with the
Shane
Colts.
Steichen is the Colts coach, right?
Yep.
Steichen's the Colts coach, and then Jonathan Gannon is the Cardinals coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. This is a great matchup of coaches with great offensive schemes that are maximizing with their quarterbacks. Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr., look at you. Him and Kyler starting to get it to go.
Kyler Murray is expected to miss this game with the injury, so Jacoby Brissett will most likely be the starter.
Oh no, not the brisket.
Interesting enough.
I didn't know Tyler was hurt.
Interesting enough on that one.
Did he get a concussion from catching that snap in the face?
They said something happened during practice, so I'm not really sure what the injury
was. When he got hit in the face with that snap, he did this like he got hit in the face with a sledgehammer. Like, dude, it was a snap. Like a normal height quarterback that hits him in the chest.
Yep. And I do want to, before I give you guys a pick, I just want to give one shout out to James' quarterback. Because I would take a quarterback who did what he did on that. I would take a quarterback who did what he did on that Hail Mary play above anybody else in life. That shows me you will hustle. You don't care what happens. And I have been getting on people who have been clowning him and laughing at him. I'm like, every coach in the NFL, if they saw that, exactly. I promise you, every coach in the NFL would probably look at that and be like, you want to know why they won a Super Bowl?
Right.
That's why. So if you want to
the ball and running down there hoping to catch a deflected pass,
it's smart. You never know.
Can you imagine if it would have happened? Like if the ball bounced out.
That would be fucking amazing. It gets tipped out to like the 12, and here comes Jalen Hurts on a sprint, catches it, and walks in.
But it's just the fact that he has that drive. That's what we all want. We all said we love a player that will do or die on the field. That's what he just did. That's exactly what he just did. So I got to give him a lot of respect for that. And I love the leader that he is. And I think that I feel like if you go to Philadelphia and say anything bad about Jalen Hurts, they're going to punch you in your face and go down your throat.
They'll punch you in the face for a lot less than that in Philadelphia, let's be honest.
True. So with that said,
who you guys got winning this game?
Right. That was a nice tangent. James, my brother, always reels me back in. So James, you go. Who you got?
I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts in this game. The Indianapolis Colts playing at home, 7.5-point favorites. Daniel Jones playing at a high level.
Danny Dallas.
He's balling. Like, we got to give it to him right now. As the season ended today, if it's season ended right now, comeback player of the year, Daniel Jones. There's no doubt
he might
about
win the
that.
MVP.
And Jonathan Taylor is also having a career season as well. So
Jonathan Taylor's like, I'm just going to get 2 touchdowns or more every
team
week.
is very good. It's going to be interesting down the stretch with them in Jacksonville, who wins that division. But I think the Colts handle their business at home.
Okay.
Is Jacksonville 4-1 as well? They're 3-2. They're 4-1.
No, they're 4-1. Their only loss was they could be undefeated if that receiver didn't drop the ball at the goal line and cause a touchback.
Fair enough. And like I said, they're not looking bad. So we got the Colts over here. Are you thinking they're going to cover that spread, or Arizona going to challenge that?
I think they're going to cover it.
Okay, that's a good. Can you blame them, guys? Because their offense is looking great. Jonathan Taylor's healthy. Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end. They look good. Dom, who do you have winning? And if Kyler Murray was playing, would have it changed your opinion depending on what it is?
Yes, it would have. I still don't think the Cardinals would have won, even if Kyler Murray was playing. But since he's not, Colts win big, like 35-17.
I tend to agree. I think if Kyler was there, I would have took that spread every day. If I would have took that for Arizona, if Kyler was playing. But I do think Indianapolis is definitely going to win this game. Indianapolis has something nice going on. And you're starting to hear a C word when it comes to Daniel Jones and being a decent quarterback, possibly be a good quarterback, because he's looking.
You mean cunt? He's having a great season. Why would you call him that?
Goodness. Dom using a word that would make any Caucasian young lady punch you in your face. Okay.
Oh, man, she's a cunt.
But, okay. Anyway,
he
let's
wants
go
to be
the next game.
He wants a woman to punch him in the face.
Okay, let's go to the next game. We
So you're
got.
saying, but for the record, Daniel Jones is a cunt?
No, dang it.
What was the C word then? Oh, comeback player of the year?
Consistent.
Oh, okay.
Consistent.
Wow.
Not the consistent. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do it. But anyway, I love this time with y'all.
That's a
Seattle
gauntlet.
Seahawks.
That's a gauntlet clip right there.
Yep. Seattle Seahawks versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams I don't think people thought would have these records by this time. I know they definitely didn't think Jacksonville would. Seattle, possibility because of who they were last year. But this is an intriguing matchup. You have the Seattle Seahawks with Sam Darnold and his new and improved shiny new toy, Jackson Smith-Njigba, two good running backs, Kenneth Walker and Zachary Charbonnet, against another team with Trevor Lawrence and a very good wide receiver and Brian Thomas, along with a decent, and I hope his leg is doing okay, with a good switchblade in Travis Hunter. And then you got your running backs, Travis Etienne, very good running back. This is why I can see why this spread is where it is. Because to be honest with you, this game could go either way. Who you got, Dom?
This is tough. I really don't know. I want to pick Jacksonville to keep it rolling. Somewhat of a miracle victory against Kansas City. Booger Eater takes the snap, falls down, gets up, and runs in for a game-winning touchdown. Sam Darnold is having an amazing year. Their record kind of belies that, but that matchup last week between Seattle and Tampa, Jackson Smith-Njigba and Egbuka, that was everything it was built to be.
Incredible game.
Yeah, that's two very good Ohio State receivers. I dare say maybe by the end of the year, you may have Jackson Smith-Njigba and Egbuka over here, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave over here, but down here. Up here, down here. Anyways, I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't ever like taking Jacksonville in any situation. They could be playing against the Sisters of the Poor, and I would still take the Sisters of the Poor. I'm taking Jacksonville. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
I'm on the T-Law train. Choo-choo.
So, you know what's interesting? I can see that. James, are you thinking that Seattle's going to get a loss, or you think Jacksonville's going to have that foreign? Are they going to go for the same record by the end of this week?
You got to give credit where it's due. And Jacksonville is a team that I really don't have any faith in during the season or during the off season when we make predictions.
Duval.
Because not only because of that, but Trevor Lawrence is somebody that I don't think has ever really shown us the C word. Consistency. Let me clarify what it is. But that game, what he performed against the Chiefs was very remarkable by him. Had a good game. And defensively as well. Devin Lloyd, nobody really talking about the season he's having, but he's making the impact that if he was on a bigger market team, if he was on the Eagles, if he was on the Lions, Devin Lloyd, some people would say defensive player of the year based on what he has done. So I like Jacksonville. I got to give them the credit where it's due. I think they're going to handle this business and win this game.
Okay. So we have two for Jacksonville to definitely win this game. And I'm glad
you said
that
you have no faith in Jacksonville, and then you picked them.
I said going into the season, I had no faith in them.
Okay. Fair.
So up until this win against the Chiefs, I really wasn't
beat anybody other than
I wasn't really buying them as a serious team.
I'm still not buying them, but I still picked them.
They're pretty good.
You know what's
it was I think it was the throwback unis was why they beat KC.
Speaking of the unis, the Chargers unis they had this past weekend was amazing. It was just nothing but love for that. But I'm going to take Seattle on this one because I actually think that this is a toss-up game, and I do believe in Jacksonville's ability to definitely do what they do. But I do like Sam Darnold a little bit better than I do Trevor Lawrence. And I think that being through the struggles, Sam has started to show a little bit more consistency. And I think that what's going to help them is that they can run the football a lot better than the Kansas City Chiefs can. And they have a more committed attack to that running the football than the Chiefs. And I think that's going to definitely play a factor for them because it sets up their entire offense. Kenneth Walker, Zachary Charbonnet, doesn't matter. So I do got the Seahawks winning this game. I'm going to got them winning this game. I think it's going to be a 38-35 type victory. I think this is going to be a high.
is a touchdown vulture. Kenneth Walker is the fucking man.
Yep.
But it's a good tandem.
Yep.
All
yep.
Right.
And I will say, I do think, fantasy-wise, I definitely think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to get 100 yards potentially in his receiving game. And I definitely think Mr. Brian Thomas got a touchdown in his arms, for sure. I definitely think those two are going to do their thing. So now we move on to the next game. We have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. It's interesting that we have this matchup because, number one, any games with ties are hilarious. I love a tie on a record, and there's a tie right here. We have the Dak Prescott-led Dallas Cowboys, fresh off a victory against the sub-below-average Jets, taking on the Carolina Panthers, who got the same treatment to them that they gave to the Jaguars or the last week. They got their butts handed to them by the New England Patriots. So, James Tatum,
Well,
are you going
this week?
with
The Panthers came back against the Miami Dolphins, winning that game, winning their second game. So, but the week before was when they got destroyed by New England. So they responded.
Dang, I've been on vacation, guys.
Two things. I know it's only 2 wins, but Carolina Panthers are undefeated at home.
Okay.
Second thing, in both of those wins, they came in as a massive underdog against, let's see, it was this game against Miami, and then there was one other game this season.
I know what you're talking about.
I think it was against Atlanta.
Yeah, spanked Atlanta.
They spanked them. Yes,
shut Atlanta out.
So they were both
inside the 30-yard line.
They were massive underdogs home, both games. They're not really a massive underdog here, but still an underdog. I think it's a trap game for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think with the way that defense has played, has been putrid. I think it's going to cost
that word. I love that word.
I think the Carolina Panthers are going to win this game. I'm going for the upset.
Go ahead.
Yes,
I'll take Carolina as well. I mean,
Cowboys are going to choke.
It comes right down to it, to be honest. I don't give a fuck. I kind of hope that they tie. But I'll take Carolina because when the Cowboys lose, America wins.
Okay.
I'll take the Panthers based upon what James said, undefeated at home. And it's kind of disrespectful to have Dallas as a 3.5-point favorite because that really means 6.5 because these are two pretty evenly matched teams. And when that's the case, as I always say, the home team gets 3 by default. So to try to call Dallas 6.5-point favorite, fuck no. They're not covering. They're not winning.
Hold on, I got to get my voice together before I do this. I am going with the Dallas Cowboys.
You just did that to do that because you wanted to make that sound.
No, I actually was going to pick them before you guys even picked. Because
Get your groove on. Get your groove on.
No, I actually was going to pick them before that. That's why I was laughing the whole time. I was trying to make sure to stay composed. I think this is a close game and an evenly matched one, but I think Dallas is a little bit better. I think Dallas's defensive line is starting to kind of figure things out. They're starting to get a little bit more traction. They're starting to get some pressure and some sacks, and the offense is fluid. The offense does really run well. CeeDee's been gone. It hasn't really missed a beat. George Pickens is that guy who can make those passes and catches that you need. I will say Jalen Tolbert and Rico Dowdle. I'm not Rico Dowdle, and who's coming to face them now?
Javonte Williams.
Von Turpin, that speedster. I do think this is going to be a good game for props. Definitely think it's going to be a good game for some sports props. You got, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong if I spell his name, Toria or I don't know how to pronounce the young man's name. Tetoria.
McMillan. Just call him McMillan.
Yeah, McMillan.
I forgot they even had him.
I think he's going to get some burn, but I do think Dallas is going to win this game. If I've got them winning this game, 28-24. We're going to move on to our next game. And I believe we got an interesting, the 1-4 Tennessee Titans versus the 1-4 Raiders. 25 years ago, this would have been for all the stakes because these teams were continually dominating and going to the postseason.
when one team was in Oakland or LA and the other one was still in Houston?
Or a couple years after going to Tennessee during the Air McNair years, too. And so they kind of got that going a little bit as well. But we have the Cam Ward versus the Geno Smith. We have the 1-4 Raiders versus the 1-4 Titans as they visit, Las Vegas. Okay. Dom, this is a funny matchup for you, I know. Is Eugene Peverell Smith winning, or is Cam Ward?
Taking the Titans. I like Cam Ward. He's very humble. Before they got their first win, he was in a press conference and he was like, I'm not going to mince words. We're playing like ass. And they were. And then they won a game. And unfortunately, the Geno Smith that we recognize appears to have reared his ugly head. So I'm taking the Titans.
Oh, so now he's Geno. He's not Eugene Cyril Smith
III. Because he's playing like Geno again. Eugene Cyril Smith is still in Seattle.
That's funny.
Geno showed up in Vegas. Fucking big ass Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant earring, sunglasses, rope chain. That's Geno. Eugene Cyril still in Seattle.
It's funny you say Eugene Cyril, and I call him Peverell. I'm channeling my Harry Potter days with Peverell. But anyway, James Tatum. Break it down, man.
I'm also picking the Titans to win this game. Geno has turned he's turned the ball over in every single game this season. He's leading the league in interceptions right now.
Geno.
I think the Titans are going to cash in on a couple turnovers, and they're going to win their second game in a row. So Cam Ward starting a new trend after he said their ass. Now they start winning all these games. So I got the Titans.
Yep. And what's interesting is I will take them because I think
I do think
it's going to be a close game. I do think this is going to be a very close game where I can see the Raiders coming out on top or whatever because Tennessee still is growing their team or whatever. I will say Mr. Gianti had his best game last week, and that means they might use that again because Tennessee does have trouble stopping the run. And so having that rookie running back that you can lean on, I think is going to make it competitive for them. But I do think in the end, the Raiders can't block anybody right now. They can't block to save their life. And if you can't block, it doesn't matter. There's going to come a point in time where you're going to need to block to get to the next level to win your game. And I don't think they're going to have enough for that. And I do, because that game against Washington really kind of left an impression on me because as soon as the ball was snapped, there was 3 linemen in the backfield. And it wasn't just one time. It was throughout the game. And I think that's ultimately going to be the bigger reason why they lose this game. So now we go into our next game. I believe we should be getting close to Sunday night. Well, we'll be pretty sure pretty soon. Is this potential NFC championship
game of the week?
Game of the week. I'm pretty sure it's a nice second rate to the game of the week that we'll be getting to for the Sunday night. But we've got the 4-1 San Francisco 49ers, fresh off a very good win against those Los Angeles Rams, which one can argue it could have went a different way. But, Sean McVay apologized for that. He took it on him. He got to go on everything. But now we go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the guy that's getting the MVP train. Just Jared Goff is getting the MVP train.
Baker Mayfield.
Rolling. This might be it's Josh Allen number 1, and then it looks like it's going to be Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff coming after them. So both of you guys are taking attention to this game. I'm 100% sure because y'all all got the same record. So I'm gonna go with you, Mr. James Tatum. Who you got in this game? Great game, by the way. Great game.
It pains me to do this. It pains me to do this.
Oh no, he's going Red Cowboys.
Red Cowboy.
You guys know I don't want to pick them, but I can't. I can't deny what I've seen. Kyle Shanahan is doing a good job coaching again, and Mac Jones has looked better for the 49ers than Brock Purdy.
So why are you picking San Francisco?
I thought Mac Jones was still playing this week.
Oh, is he starting?
I haven't heard that Purdy is back yet,
and we don't know if Ricky Pearsall is playing either, and that's a big piece.
You know, I like what they're doing. They have had some impressive wins, and Tampa, I think you can't win every single game at the buzzer. Sooner or later, you're going to have to actually be the better team for the
first three and three quarters of 4 quarters.
So I don't think the way that Tampa is winning football games is
sustainable.
So I'm picking the Red Cowboys.
It's funny that he says that, though. And FYI, New York Mets fans, he's also talking to you about that cardiac cack winning, because that's what y'all did last year, trying to go all the way to the World Series, but it didn't work out that way. Just a little tangent on baseball. You know it. But, Dom, this is an important game for you, because I think you play both of these teams.
We do. If Mac Jones is starting, I'm going to pick the Red Cowboys. If Brock Purdy is starting, I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What James said is right. You can't bank on the idea of a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter week after week, although it seemed to work for the Kansas City Chiefs last year. But I don't think the Buccaneers have the Zebras on their side the way the Chiefs did.
So Brock Purdy missed practice again today.
Oh, okay. So it's Mac Jones. Yep. Give me the Red Cowboys.
So you know what's interesting about this is there's been the reason why I know people are looking at Brock and was like, he's not been this and this. There's a kind of a reason for that. When he looked great, like he looked at his height, there was C-Mac, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo. Now it's just C-Mac.
So Mac Jones is doing more with less, is what you're saying.
So no, not necessarily, because with Mac, one of the reasons why
Kendrick Bourne's been pretty good for the 49ers.
That's why I was getting right into that. One of the reasons why Mac has looked good is because his teammate from Patriots is over here. And I remember, and I will tell this to fantasy owners as well.
You can look at a lot of wide receivers.
Huh? He had almost 100, 200 yards almost last week. 175 actually, almost. Like he was definitely doing work. But the thing is, there's that connection that he has. He has a connection with Jake Tongas. Backup quarterbacks have connection with the guys that nobody schemes for.
Right.
Backup quarterbacks have connection with the guys that people don't know about, that they'll leave in single coverage. Because that's what they did with Kendrick Bourne, and Kendrick Bourne burned the Rams last week. So when you have that guy, I'm with you. Dom, you said you didn't go your pick. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I did. I said if Mac Jones starts, they win.
Oh yeah, you're right. If Mac Jones starts, I will give it to them because I'm with you on that one. I think.
Here's the question. I know, we're a little bit over our time, but if the 49ers continue to win with Mac Jones, would you continue to leave him as a starting quarterback even when Brock is healthy?
Right after you paid him?
Me personally, I would.
But you're paying for a backup because he just got paid.
No, I know.
The Falcons
precedent hasn't been set with this same Red Cowboys team before.
The Atlanta Falcons did it to Kirk Cousins.
I think Mac's playing for another job.
He is.
I think he's going to be getting picked up next year or something like that in a trade or something. I think he's playing for another job.
He is. But I mean, if he keeps winning, how do you sit him down?
It's the same thing when it came to
Maybe
Brock.
get in the DeLorean, go back in time, and don't give Brock Purdy that contract.
But it's like Brock Purdy came in and just won instantly as well. You know, that's the crazy thing.
That's what they do. San Francisco has not had an impactful quarterback since Steve Young.
San Francisco, to me, and I will say this as we get to the next game. Everyone, you know, the number one time. I remember John Lynch got pounded on because his first 2 or 3 drafts, all he did in the first 2 rounds was get offensive line, and they were like, "You need this and this." That's why they can always sustain, no matter.
That's how you
that's
win
exactly
long term.
Do it.
As much as football
Philly's
has changed, it has not changed at all. Games are won in the trenches. O-line, D-line.
The offensive lines, the lines is definitely the most important part of any game. Any goddamn game. Any goddamn game. But we go on to the next one. We got everybody on the 49ers. And we have the Cincinnati Bengals with the Green Bay Packers. I don't know if Joe Flacco's starting. I'm not sure. If he's starting, he's probably there now to do the crash course. So because we got to come up close to like 9 o'clock. And I know I got to put another bet in for the Dodgers and Phillies game. But that's neither here nor there. Dom, who you got? This is important for you, too.
Give me the Bengals. Fuck the Packers.
I'm going with the Green Bay Packers to win this game, coming off the bye.
14 and a half. Holy shit.
Now, I am going to take that
the biggest spread I've ever seen in my life.
I'm going to take that Bengals spread because if it is Flacco or Browning, I don't like those spreads, overwhelming favorites. Because I think that's when I love when all the money goes on that because you go the opposite. So we're going to go over to the next game. We're all on the Packers. Dom, you lead away this one, buddy.
Oh, the spread moved. Yesterday, the day before, it was 1.5. I'm still taking the Lions, even on the road. It's a primetime game. Jared Goff has never lost to Patrick Mahomes. And I think we're better than them right now. That's it.
They are. No, you know what? I don't think the Chiefs are ready for this. I think we are seeing the downfall of Kansas City. I think they're going to fall to 2-4. And I do not like what I saw, especially with Chris Jones. Did you see the end of the play with Trevor Lawrence? Touchdown?
Yeah, when he was digging in his ass.
Standing there.
Yeah, digging in his ass.
That is not what I want to see from my best defensive player, team captain, just standing around.
Standing there scratching his nuts.
Yeah.
Chris Jones? Yeah.
There's a video of him just standing around, like not trying to make a tackle on the biggest important play of the game.
Standing there like these.
So I think that Detroit is going to be the more physical team. I think they're going to run at them with Montgomery and Gibbs. I think St. Brown's going to make a couple plays. Williams, Laporta make a couple plays in this game. I'm going to go 31-27 to the Detroit Lions.
Now, to that point, and I will say what's interesting as well is I believe when they beat them last time at Arrowhead, I believe Detroit beat them last time. So the thing that's interesting, we talked about it with the last game. When you have a line, you can play the Kansas City Chiefs. When you have a line and on defensive as well, you can play the Kansas City Chiefs. And at the end of the day, you know, this team seems to be getting back to this form last year because David Montgomery threw a touchdown to Brock Wright. When you start doing your trick plays again, you're starting to feel like, all right, we got our consistency back. We got our rhythm back. And I don't necessarily think that, I do think this is not going to be a Kansas City Chiefs team that everybody's used to seeing. I think they're going to be a team that come into the playoffs that people think may lose in the first or second round, even though but who knows how it will turn out. But I will say to the point is, I do think Detroit is figuring it out. They are there. Questions on defense, but I don't think this is the week that it's going to get tested.
Yeah,
questions on defense.
Jared Goff is also really, really good in prime time.
Magnolia loves to blitz. He loves to blitz, and I think Detroit is a team that can really burn you if you blitz.
Yep, and they have 2 running backs. And all their backs can block.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're both good in pass pro.
And at the end of the day, they're 1-2 punch. Shout out to David Montgomery. His sister came to his game last week. That's one of the most wholesome moments. I loved seeing him and his smile for her. But you're right. Andy Reid been in the game forever. He knows when
I was watching that game at halftime, the Lions and Bengals, and I said, damn, Montgomery has more touchdowns thrown than Jake Browning.
It's crazy. But at the end of the day, it speaks to where they are. I got the Lions winning this
Jamar Chase
game.
also has more solo tackles this year than Micah Parsons.
I know.
5-4.
Is that crazy?
Exactly.
Jamar Chase had the tackle on all 3 of those interceptions this past week.
I've got the Lions, though. I'll have them winning this game. I've got them winning this game 35-21. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be similar to the game against us, only they're going to do a little bit better. Because Dan Campbell, one thing about Dan Campbell is he rises to the occasion. Don't expect no punts in this game from Dan Campbell. And he's going to throw out some of his best stuff.
Even though we have an all-pro punter, we don't punt.
Right. Don't expect him to punt in this game and expect them to play and treat this like they're supposed to treat it. Like, if I want to win a Super Bowl, I may have to beat this guy. So let's play like we're going to beat this guy. So I think that Detroit's going to come out and do very well. Final game. We have the Buffalo Bills, who have fresh off of a really disappointing loss when, if you looked at that game, the MVPs, the wide receivers, the running back, besides James Cook, did not look
good.
Not
so good, Al.
Now, Josh said he knows he already said it. I got to be better. And he's right. He's going to do his thing. They're going to be there. But now they take on a Michael Penix-led Falcons fresh off a bye at home. Now, do y'all think that spread should be lower or higher? And if so, who wins?
I think it's a pretty fair spread. I'm going to think Buffalo.
It should be.
I think they had a few turnovers against New England. It's not usually the way they play. They take care of the ball most of the time. So Josh Allen had some bad decisions in that game. I think it's going to be a better performance for him and the team. But to be honest, JJ, I said it. You were right about when it comes to James Cook. He is the difference of the team. And they were not really giving him the ball.
And 13 carries.
They didn't really give him the ball, and they had problems. But James Cook has had like multiple games this season with 100+ yards. So I think they got to get him involved.
And what's funny is I appreciate those words because I kept it in last year.
You've been on the James Cook train since the beginning of last year.
Right, but I kept it in at all the talk that I heard about the MVP conversation, all the back and forth I had with people. I'm just like, y'all cannot be disrespecting and realizing that this guy right here is a real deal. And on top of that, even more, and I'll let you go, Dom, as well. That tight end was there last year too. He may have not been healthy, but he was still there and he was still producing. Josh Allen has never been by himself during these great years. He has never been by himself. He has been with some really great.
Oh, yeah. He's had at
talent.
Least one good wideout, a good tight end. Didn't have a good running back till last year.
And, yep. But, Dom, who do you got winning this game?
Buffalo. Atlanta sucks. Come on. It's Atlanta. And it's prime time. Atlanta could be up. I don't know. Not that it'll happen, but suffice to say, Atlanta could be up 28-3 at halftime and still blow it. Give me Buffalo and they cover.
I think this is going to be a close game like last week against the Saints. But I do got Buffalo winning this game. And like I said, if I am doing any fantasy props, we just gave you two. His name is James Cook and his name is Dalton Kincaid. Because trust and believe, if you're trying to lock down those wide receivers, listen, Josh ain't afraid to throw it to
Dawson Knox. What happened to him? He used to be good.
He used to be good, but Dalton's better. Dalton's in the Sam Laporta category. He is that type of player.
Whoa. Let's not start saying things that we might regret later.
I don't know. Kincaid is
damn good.
I think you guys use him a lot more and look for him more than Josh does. But the way I look at it is
first down machine.
But what I look at it is when they get the ball, what do? And I have not seen neither one. not make a huge play with them catching
Right.
the ball.
Yeah,
And so they're
playmakers.
on that. They're literally the same level. Now, like, you know, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, but Joseph has won a few bucks thanks to Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid.
Yep.
But that concludes our game show tonight. Our game show.
Game show.
Our picked off tonight.
I mean, you're
As
kind of
you
like
know,
a game show host, so I call it a game show.
The price
I
is
am
right.
I am the host from Deal or No Deal. I'm the guy in the back.
Briefcase, no briefcase.
Right, you know the guy with no, you can't see his face. He's sitting in the back. I am that. I am I am Bob Barker's backhand man with the sound. I'm that.
It's the Price is Right, Happy.
Right. You can't see me, but there I am. But no, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys for giving me the privilege to start and host tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys this week on Friday with us on the Gauntlet. We got so much to talk about. It's going to be so fantastic. It's going to be a lot more fun. A lot, as always. We always do our thing. James, Dom, I love you guys. I always appreciate talking to you guys. I mean, we don't have to talk every day, but when I talk to you guys, it feels like I talked to you yesterday. You know,
we pretty much talk every day.
We do. We actually do. You're right. We do. And it's been a great journey with you guys. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you guys. Y'all take care. Have a good one, everybody.
Good night, Westchester, Pennsylvania.